Hello everyone, this is Kagekaze. I'd like to welcome you to my channel. I know it's been kind of a mixed channel with a whole bunch of different videos, music videos and the like, but I hope you've at least enjoyed it. I've been really trying to get some people interested in the Sengoku Basara series, as the latest version that came out in the States was really well done. Unfortunately, Capcom decided they didn't want to bring over the expansion. Well, hopefully we'll change their minds. But in the meantime, what has happened is, as of today, I have been given access to the Diablo 3 beta. And so what I'd like to do is record as I go into it and try it for the first time. Now, I have only played this a little bit so far before starting this, but not very far, only a little bit into the cathedral. So I haven't gotten too far at all. But I have followed other videos, such as Force's videos, and I'll go ahead and put a link to his videos here in my channel. So I have been following the beta fairly closely. So I do know what's been going on, and I do know some of the changes, so hopefully what I'll do here is provide you guys with some changes that have been happening with the beta. So for some of you, this might be old hat. For some of you, this may be new. So what we're going to go in as a wizard is an homage to my World of Warcraft character. Why the hell not, right? And yes, this is being recorded live, so I know it may not be the most interesting thing to listen to, but I will try to make it entertaining. As you can see, yes, I do have had some recordings. Only 2 achievements made so far: Light Entertainment, Killing with a Chandelier, and Scavenger collected 500 gold. That's about it, though. Let's go ahead and go into the game. Alright. What I noticed when I first started playing this is that Diablo 3, really hasn't changed too much from the Diablo 2 formula. Actually has a lot of things right here from the beginning, very recognizable to anyone that's played Diablo 2. Character here, the character stats. Now they did just recently, in this patch, remove the statistics page, where you would normally see your strength, vital, dex, and all that. Over here on the left, it's now been moved here to your inventory screen. And of course they provided a detail box where you can see everything at a glance there. But most of it's the same. I've got my wizard starting with magic missile and of course my wand. I don't have any other real skills at the moment. Obviously, you know that those of you who played the beta and have been following the beta, of course, are probably yawning at this point, but that's quite alright. Again, this is kind of my first foray into it. Maybe going in. One of the changes they made recently in this beta, of course, was that your spells are now based on weapon damage instead of a set piece of damage, which they did in the beginning of the beta. Now, what you may notice is the tooltips really don't tell you anything. Hurl an arcane bolt. Well, some of you may or may not know, holding down control will give you back your old tooltips that are details. This shows, of course, magic missile, 110% damage as arcane. Base, of course, off of my wand, 2 to 3 damage. So obviously, 2 to 3 damage should be what I see. Occasionally a 4, since 10% really is not a lot. I've got the numbers turned on, so you'll see.
Prophecy sent me in search of the star that fell on this land.
It fell on the old cathedral. There was only one survivor, Leah. You should speak with her.
Captain Rumford, more dead are coming.
We can't open the gates until we drive them back.
Now what you might see occasionally is, as I slay zombies, you may see me do, like, it'll have 3 hit points of damage, and I'll do 3 hit points worth of damage myself, but it won't die. It'll still have 1 hit point left. That's because it's actually doing a fraction of a damage and not displaying it on screen.
I've never seen anyone fight like that before. Guards, open the gates. You'll find Leah at the Slaughtered Calf Inn.
Again, if I don't sound terribly coherent, I apologize. Unscripted, of course.
I came here to study the fall of old Tristram.
One thing I noticed is this character here, Brother Malachi the Healer, that I haven't seen on other follow-throughs. Apparently he will heal you. Not that you ever really need it, at least not in the beta. Things are actually pretty easy in the beta. But that's by design. It is on normal mode. I'll show you here is, of course, I haven't put anything in the stash. I started with these 2 potions in my stash. That's kind of surprising, actually. Wonder if they'll keep that going forward. Especially considering you start with 5 here now. Another change in the beta here, 5th skill slot. It will be dedicated to potions only in the full version of the game. Of course, right now you can see I can still slot it, but the intention is it will only be for potions, so I'll leave it there to simulate that experience.
Are you Leah? Rumford said you survived the fallen star.
I did, but it blasted my uncle Deckard Cain into the depths of the old cathedral. I tried to search for him, but the dead were already rising. I came back here to rally the militia, but... Watch out! The wounded are turning!
I didn't think I could get any better.
This is killing business.
Alright, level 2, skill slot, and the new skill, Ice Armor. And Frost Nova. They removed the passive armor buff. Apparently Ice Armor now only freezes enemies that hit you, so it does a little bit of damage back, chills them a bit. So as of right now, I'd rather stick to Frost Nova.
Welcome to the
And so hopefully with this video too, as I go through it, I'm going to explain what I'm doing with my build as I play through and what my thoughts are.
The dead will overwhelm us all, unless something is done.
I will make certain that doesn't happen. Your town is safe.
Thank you. You should speak with Captain Rumford at the gate. He can tell you what to do.
Of course, I'll let you listen to the lore as I find it, even if you may have heard it on other videos.
We've been under siege for 6 days now. Uncle Deckard is still missing. Captain Rumford and the others are losing hope. I tell them not to lose faith, but if help doesn't arrive soon...
Don't you dare lift a finger to help our men. 16 militiamen went out. Only Rumford came back.
We have come at last to Tristram's old cathedral. This is where Diablo, Lord of Terror, first corrupted mankind. This is where I may finally find the answers I seek. Leah worries after my safety, but I believe information vital to defeating the last lords of the burning hells can be found here.
Can you move this thing? I need to get by.
How dare you speak to me like that? I am the mayor of this town.
Why are you trying to leave?
Are you mad? This town is doomed. Anyone with a grain of sense should be trying to get out. Will you help me or not?
I am not in the habit of helping cowards.
And that is why I like my wizard. I can only imagine this here, the part where Cain's door is still closed, is still just a bug. I imagine that door would open up as Cain's house becomes available. I have not confirmed that on their forums. I have been checking into a lot of things to see what is a bug and what is not, so, I do know that the experience shrines have been bugged since the dawn of time, although I think they fixed that in this version.
What can I do to help you fight the risen dead?
I admire your courage, but Captain Dalton and the militia were slaughtered by those things. Only I survived.
Thanks for the warning, but I won't be dying today.
Well, I have seen you fight. Strike at the wretched mothers and their queen. They're the ones vomiting out these horrors.
They're attacking the barricades!
So part of my reasoning for, of course, passing up on Ice Armor is I don't really plan on letting things get too close to me. Not only that, but my offensive spells will do more damage in the long run.
That's one of the wretched mothers. There are more of them in the ruins down the road.
And again, considering this is normal and it is very easy, less effective at this point in time. So, pretty much planning to stick with Frost Nova for now. It's really nice, keeps them frozen, lets me do damage. I want to take this time, of course, to apologize for the quality of the audio in my recording here. I do have a broken headset at the moment, so the microphone's kind of held in place with duct tape at the moment. Amusing, is it not? I do plan on replacing it soon, as I am hoping to possibly do additional commentary when I continue my Sengoku Basara series. Might end up doing Yukimura next when I decide to pick that up again. At least that's what I've been thinking about. Got some more Battlefield 3 footage that I'm thinking about getting put up. Of course, I gotta find good music for that. So, you know, there's a few things I've been looking at. I know my channel has not exactly been very active lately. And so one of the changes you may have noticed here is I'm spamming my ability. Magic Missile does not cost any damage. Cost any arcane power. I still have my full arcane power orb. Of course, neither does Frost Nova. That doesn't cost anything. Signature spells now, from the beginning, cost no mana. They used to cost a certain amount, and that cost would be reduced by 1 every level until the point where they became free. So I guess they decided to just forego the whole cost in the beginning to just making it free, so it's a little more understandable for new players and veterans alike. And it makes the beginning even more easier.
Still waiting.
Because you never really have to worry about your resources here at the very beginning, so you don't have to have any downtime, actually. So it is kind of nice. I do love the fact that I can run over gold to pick it up instantly. Especially since gold now is supposed to be a lot more useful. You can buy items on the auction house that they've included with Diablo 3, and of course they do have a real money auction house now as well. Now one thing that they did change with this installment of the beta, this was again this was updated, I do just believe the other day, so all very new. One of the changes they did make is items.
While exploring a cave with hopes of finding hidden treasure, I came upon a most grisly sight. A heap of dead bodies. Unbelievably, as I was searching them for any items of value, they began to rise. I must tell them of this in New Tristram before it's too late.
Okay, carrying on. Just wanted to be able to hear that. Items now in the beta are a lot lower quality. Magic items would drop a lot more frequently than they do now. Not in this very beginning part. You would still get a decent amount of white and grays, but you would still find quite a lot of blues as you progressed through the beta. Kind of caused an item inflation. You know, whites were less valuable from the beginning. Here, I've got a few items, so what I'll do is I'll put them on, kind of show you so you can see the differences. I can go ahead and wear a buckler. Very nice. Now here's something that you may not know, is that of course the change to weapon damage means that even swords will affect my damage. So here I have a sword. Normally I would like to use my wand as it has range, but this will increase the damage of all my abilities. So I'm going to go ahead and equip this sword. And I may be a melee wizard. Just change my skills around a tiny bit. Not half bad. With the abilities I have now, I will not be running out of mana, of course, or arcane power. It's not a big deal. Now keep in mind, even though this does directly affect all of my damages, like you're going to see here when I find something to kill, that all my abilities, including my spells, even though it's not a wand, have increased in potency. Thanks to my sword that I brandish. Yes. But keep in mind, they've recently, another change they made is the strength, dex, intelligence, and vitality. Your damages are tied now to your main stats, instead of just arbitrary attack values. So intellect, as you can see, all damage for witch doctors and wizards increased by 13%, such as strength does 9% for barbarians, and dexterity does 9% for demon hunters and monks. So wands will typically be the items that have intellect on them. So even though the sword is helping me now, you may eventually still want to get a wand, especially since it will provide you with range.
I returned to Honduras after 20 years. The burden of countless failures and tragedies heaped upon my shoulders. Am I being punished for helping that stranger hunt the Dark Wanderer? I always thought Deckard Cain half a madman. Perhaps he was right. Perhaps he can banish the shadow hanging over my life.
Everyone always underestimates the old wise men. Oh, hello.
Become more powerful.
Alright, well now that I have a new skill, I have Arcane Orb. Very nice AoE, 225% weapon damage, my first costing ability. I'm going to be using that. Of course, I still have Magic Missile, which will allow me to cast for free. So now, even though I have a sword, I shouldn't ever have to get close because I will never run out of arcane power to cast with at this point. Now, as we go along, I did play a Sorceress a little bit through. There will be skills I get which cause me to start running out of power. Here's something. They've gone through 2 iterations of this. Originally, when they put out the beta, you could change your skills on the fly at any point, which meant I could be in the middle of combat, go in here, select a different skill, and start using it in that same instance of combat. Blizzard, of course, you know, like the customization, but don't like that you could just arbitrarily put skills in there, possibly leading, of course, to maybe macros or mods that would allow you to just constantly have all your abilities at one time. After all, what's the point of having 6 skill slots if you can just have all your skills available at one time?
I can no longer deny the true nature of the evil that rises from the depths of the cathedral. It is almost too horrible to admit the truth of it. It is the Dark Lord of Terror, Diablo himself, who plagues us.
I'm just going to bring this up. I find it interesting that this is still here. This little glowing part here. That's been listed as a bug for as long as I can remember. But as I was saying, what they changed to keep you from just arbitrarily doing that is they added areas inside the game where you could actually change your skills, and then you couldn't change them anywhere else. So you could go to town, slot your skills. You could find these altars throughout the world, you know, and they tried to put them frequent enough that it wouldn't be a burden, but infrequent enough to where you just couldn't do it all the time. You know, there were mixed, reviews about that. People either liked it or didn't like it. You know, obviously, if they make a decision like that,
Diablo himself once walked this place.
it's going to cause controversy. You know, not everyone's going to like it. So now the balance is, as you saw, I changed my skills, but when you change your skills in the middle of the game now, it incurs a 30-second cooldown. So even though I put my arcane orb on my bar, I couldn't use it right away until that cooldown had reset. So I think that's a nice mix, actually. Being able to change your skills as you want, as you go, but it means that I can't just arbitrarily say, hey, I'm fighting a boss as a monk and I need to heal now. I'm just going to slot heal. Oh, look, I'm healed up, let's put my other skill back on. No, I gotta wait 30 seconds every time I do that. So I kind of like it. Blizzard is very good about the iterative process. And as I was saying about items earlier, I don't know if I finished that thought, to tell you the truth. Again, consequence of not having this scripted and doing it live. They really want the items, magic items you find to be special now. You know, they don't want it to just be blues be the new white. And what they want is the white items to essentially be useless. You know, as you progress, you're not going to want to pick up white items because they're not going to sell for much. You're not going to get much out of them, and since gold matters, why waste your inventory space with these white items? Hey, our friend Griswold. A lesser wand, no less. Gray. Couldn't have been a white. Yeah, an achievement, fight elite kittens. Oh no, I ran out of arcane power for a brief moment. A treasure pigment. There we go. Get back here.
I need arcane power.
These guys are great. Great for gold. And if you can manage to kill one, Get a nice blue. As you can see, I haven't found a blue until just now, fighting one of those nice rare monsters. And this is, of course, one of those random events that Diablo 3 will be known for. Alright, let's go ahead and get this. And let's see what we've got. And of course, again, I'll zoom in so you can see the effects of items on my character. Got a hand axe of Starlight, additional arcane damage, not bad. That'll increase the damage on my spells. Cool glow effect on it. Additional protection on those pants. Protection there. Boots that I don't have. More protection there. And kind of like World of Warcraft you might see here, they now show you the item that you have equipped and how it compares to other items you're using. Which of course, I believe started originally as a mod in World of Warcraft and then was eventually incorporated by Blizzard into the game. And now as you can see, they think it's a great idea. They keep using it. They don't innovate as much as they used to, but they know what works, and they like to capture that.
Thank you for your help, but could you talk some sense into Leah? She won't give up on the idea of rescuing her uncle.
Nor should she. I will help her find him. Come, let us search for your uncle.
We'll need to open the cathedral first. The guards locked it up before they were ambushed. Rumford told me they fought their way back to Adria's hut. The key must still be there.
Now here's something that I haven't seen in other videos that I found out here. You can actually right-click on my party member here. She's not a permanent party member, but I can still right-click on her. And she has a talk menu, and I can actually ask her about different topics.
For a long time, Uncle Deckard avoided coming back to this place. There were a lot of ghosts here for him. This is where Diablo drove old King Leoric mad and terrorized the people. I don't know what really happened here. But whatever it was horrible. Nearly everyone who survived went mad.
Just my luck. My business is the only thing not rising from the dead in this town.
It's a shame that Bard got himself eaten.
That spoony bard got himself eaten.
Here, let me open the gate. Adria was my mother, but I don't know much about her. She died when I was very young. I was raised by Uncle Deckard.
What about your father?
I'm told he was a great warrior who was lost when Tristram fell to the demons.
How did your mother die?
Well, details are hazy.